Welcome to the North America debut of XConf. I want to talk to you all today about how I think the role of the technologist is rapidly evolving in three different areas: technology, business, and society. But first, I want to tell you a little bit more about myself, what brought me to ThoughtWorks, and the history of XConf that brings us here today. I came from an electrical engineering background, and around the dot-com boom era, I switched to programming, from circuit boards to keyboards, as it were, simply because the internet seemed too full of exciting possibilities to ignore. In 2003, I found my way to ThoughtWorks as a developer, and I never would have found ThoughtWorks if it weren't for one true fact, that at the time I was indeed a Martin Fowler groupie. It's true. For those of you who don't know, Martin is our chief scientist at ThoughtWorks for the last 18 years, and you'll hear from him and Jamak later today. So way back then, a friend of mine gave me Martin's refactoring book, and it completely changed the way I looked at software. The concepts in that book made me realize that software could be a living organism, something that was constantly evolving and adapting and changing, not something that you just wrote once and then stayed static forever. So I found my way from Martin's site to ThoughtWorks site, and the rest, as they say, is history. 15 years ago, I joined this community of unconventional, tenacious, but genuine and thoughtful people who had the mission of revolutionizing the IT industry, a very audacious goal for a company that was only 300 people at the time. So what did this mean to revolutionize the IT industry? I didn't really know at the time, but I was intrigued to find out. I would say its meaning to us is multifaceted and always evolving, but one thing has remained constant overall: the belief that there is a better way to do things, a better way to work in a way that provided more value and created less waste, something that our industry was very well known for in the 90s and continues even to this day. So it's this belief that there is a better way, and that better way is always waiting there to be discovered or invented, that leads us to the continuous pursuit of excellence. We try, we fail, we try again. We share, we debate, we argue, we compromise, or we agree to disagree, but just go ahead and try something anyway. But we are never complacent or happy with good enough. It is an exhausting, sometimes maddening, but exhilarating way to exist. Continuous learning and improvement, the constant pursuit of excellence. And for us, it's a collective effort, not an individual one. In the social activity that is creating software, we are always better off collaborating together. So whether through books, blogs, open source software, online forums, conferences, or the Tech Radar, we share our knowledge, our perspectives, and our experience with each other and with the world, sometimes to a fault. Just a quick story on this. A fellow ThoughtWorker was recently meeting with an executive of one of the largest companies in Thailand. And our presence in the country is very new. We just opened ThoughtWorks Thailand last year. So my colleague was kind of surprised, actually, that this exec agreed to meet with us. So in the first meeting, she asked him why, to which he replied, "I've been finding that every time I dig into a new technology topic, I find a ThoughtWorker with an opinion." As Johnny mentioned, we have always passionately advocated for the change we believe in and continue to look for what's next on the horizon. We believe it is the role of the technologist to pursue excellence in our craft, advance the state of the art and the state of the practice, and to make our entire industry better by sharing and learning together. And that is how we find ourselves here today. As part of our culture of sharing and continuous learning, XConf was created 8 years ago in our Chennai, India office. It was originally an internal conference for ThoughtWorkers to share their experience, their project learnings, their side projects with each other. And much like we've done with our data conference called Yodabyte, after a couple of iterations, we realized that we had something really valuable and that we should extend this learning to the tech community at large. From there, it went global, spreading from India to Australia, UK, Germany, Ecuador, and now the US. So we thank you for coming today as we humbly share. We hope that you learn and challenge us, as well as form new ideas and relationships before you leave here today. So I've talked a lot about the role of the technologists in the tech industry and the responsibility I believe we all have to share and advance our industry together. Now let's talk about how the role of the technologist is changing in business. It's not new news that business and tech have become more integrated now than ever. With increased compute power and accelerated emerging technologies, the landscape is expanding and changing at a very rapid pace. Those that can harness the new tools available to them can get ahead. And so business is having to transform itself with regards to technology in order to remain relevant and compete. Does this mean that every business is now a technology company? I think the answer is no, but every company must become a little bit more tech company-like in a few ways. Being able to leverage tech in a rapid and effective way means that companies have to remove bureaucracy and friction. It means cultural, structural, process, and systems changes need to happen in these organizations in order to unleash the ideas and productivity of its technologists. It's about being truly okay to fail and embracing it as part of the process of innovation, but looking to fail faster and run as many experiments as possible. In order to do this, you need to have the systems and the assets available that are modular, fluid, evolutionary. And as a small litmus test that I like to give to our clients, if it takes 6 weeks and 3 request tickets to get a developer a test environment, you're doing it wrong. As a result of this move of technology becoming more strategic, business leaders are becoming more tech savvy, and technologists need to increase their business acumen. So the role of the technologist is to think about how tech can make your business better, serve your customers better, and to be fanatically focused on customer value. So ask yourself, does my company talk to its customers regularly? Or do we have some other way of gaining customer insights? And if so, how am I using that information to shape the solutions that I'm building? And last, but maybe most important, I think the role of the technologist in business is to do everything you can to ensure that tech is at the core of your company's strategy. If we think holistically about all of the threats and opportunities facing our business, combined with the exponential number of technical solutions that we could build, the possibilities are endless and exciting. In the world of business, you as a technologist can no longer just implement great technology for an idea that someone else in another department dreamt up. You must be an active partner in shaping how your company can leverage tech in creative ways for its competitive advantage. Let's look at some examples of tech's role in business. Every year, 160 million travelers fly Delta to over 300 destinations in 57 countries, making it the world's largest airline. And every day, more than 1 million people around the world use the Fly Delta app. Delta knows that its travelers expect a seamless experience at every stage of their journey, and so we designed Delta's mobile platform around the customer to enhance the travel experience. Most importantly, the platform is designed for flexibility and responsiveness. Delta can easily respond to market changes and release new features quickly, thanks to a hybrid approach of cross-platform and native development. In the last 6 years, Delta has gone from 0 to 13% of its total revenue coming from its mobile channel, with over $100 billion in total sales. But what is most interesting and impressive is that they have created an entirely new business model, from airline to platform as a service provider. We know that companies can unlock entirely new revenue streams by sharing their platforms, as we saw with Amazon's ultra-successful AWS launch. In the same way, Delta saw an opportunity to extend their own high-performing mobile capability, and today Delta licenses their mobile platform as a service to other major air carriers. AutoScout24 is Europe's largest online car marketplace, and they wanted to get ahead by developing an accurate price evaluation tool that updated continuously and took into account real-world prices that were happening across the globe. Many companies use these type of predictive analytics capabilities internally, but they shy away from using them for customer-facing services because of the complexity. Together, we were able to develop a pricing prediction model that is retrained every month, updating itself to accurately reflect the market. We used a continuous delivery approach that is uncommon in predictive analytics. Automated verification using live test data in a CD pipeline allows them to release model improvements with confidence. And today, AutoScout has real-time intelligent pricing of automobiles to increase sales in both volume and revenue. This multinational banking and financial services company had technology assets that were unable to support the growing business. Delivering new functionality was overly time-consuming and expensive. We helped them create a real-time, event-driven, scalable architecture built for dealing with very heavy volume while isolating core business and business logic and services along very thin lines. The outcome was that this company now has a flexible way of accessing its business capabilities. It can provide a seamless customer experience, and it can launch new products and services to the market quickly and easily. So without a doubt, tech is the engine powering business today. And as technologists, your expertise, creativity, and ability to collaborate with other disciplines is ultimately key to your company's success. And lastly, in addition to the increased importance of technologists in business and our industry, there is a third dimension, the increasing role of the technologists in matters affecting society. Diversity is one to be sure. We as an industry can do so much better. In particular, recent reports show the racial gap in Silicon Valley is getting worse, not better. So we can't lose commitment or focus, but we have to constantly remind ourselves why it's so important. While we believe that increasing diversity in tech is important because it's just the right thing to do, there's an additional really important reason today. Tech has invaded every aspect of our lives, from our cars, our homes, our hospitals, entertainment, and our schools. And as the impact that tech has on our society increases, the need for people behind that tech to be representative of society becomes even more important. I love this quote from Dr. Fei Li. She's a professor of computer science at Stanford and chief scientist of AI at Google Cloud. She says, "No technology is more reflective of its designers than AI. AI will change the world. Who will change AI?" When it comes to emerging technology, there are a lot of unknowns about how these shifts will shape our society, our interactions, and our perception of the world around us. At ThoughtWorks, we are concerned about the potential negative impact that tech can have on our society. It's why we've launched this internal and hopefully one day to be external discussion called Building an Equitable Tech Future. Some of the topics under discussion include algorithmic racial bias and its role in criminal justice sentencing, the threat to the free and open internet, facial recognition technology being used to track citizens and even to predict one's sexual orientation, fake news affecting the political process, tech addiction, data privacy, and the impact to jobs that automation will bring are also top of mind. As we all wrestle with the societal implications of these tech trends and the great power and great responsibility that technologists now hold, it is important to have these discussions to explore the tensions that will inevitably arise. In conclusion, I hope that I have helped you see that your role as technologists is only growing in scope and in level of impact across our industry, our businesses, and our society. If this is a topic that interests you, I invite you to find any ThoughtWorker today and strike up a conversation about how you see the role of the technologist evolving today and in the future. Please enjoy the conference. We hope you had a great time, learn, spark some new ideas, and make some new friends. Thank you.